It's the 21st day here in Panama, and most importantly, it's the morning after Columbus tribe voted off their first member.
Following a split vote, Bridget beat Helen in a dramatic tiebreak.
Helen was a member of the old North Island tribe, so now the one-time South Islanders, that's John, Johnny, Bridget and Susanna, have a majority. Majority should mean strength and unity, but there are signs of cracks appearing. I wonder why. Must be something to do with £1 million.
Bridget starts the day in a reflective mood after being so close to being voted off last night.
It felt very strange me waking up here this morning because although what was South Tribe are still with me, there was an atmosphere between the other three, and you could sense it. You could sense it last night anyway.
Well, my little diamond's gone. I know. Shame.
Dave, I and Drew are quite sad this morning about what has happened, because it could have been so different, and in the last 24 hours everything has been turned on its head.
But you know, in the next few days they're going to definitely try to approach you.
Oh yeah. And
try and get you to go with them and stuff. I mean, there's going to be all sorts going on for the next 3 cents more.
Oh yeah, well, something else I have learnt.
Alistair's going to panic and he's going to try and rally the troops massively.
Yeah, this morning it was sort of very tribal when the 3 of them came down to the creek. There's lots to discuss, and I guess that's what both tribes are doing.
Hopefully they're going to be true to what they have said, and they're not then going to vote each of us off one by one, which they could do so easily, and they'd be left with 4 people. And I think we are more vulnerable now than we've ever been. But we'd have been the same. I mean, Helen.
Well, it all depends on the next tribal council. If Bridget gets the nod, then you're right what you said. Yeah. If not, we're going to be decimated.
Alistair's in a position now, unfortunately for him, where he simply hasn't got anything to offer because North Tribe are in the minority, and his bargaining position is unequal to ours.
The way we're thinking now, we're losing one of our own. I think really it steps a different gear up. They've got the advantage now, and I hate to think that way really, because we're all here together now and we should forget about the past, i.e. individual tribes, so really we should go on personalities now.
I mean, Bridget is very hard working.
Oh, Bridget's lovely, but I feel as though I'm being treated like a wee boy with her.
I knew I was being voted for by them, because Alistair and Dave couldn't look me in the face. And I'll tell you something else, voting Helen off last night rather than Drew, we've separated those two. And that was the most important thing, we had to separate Helen and Alistair. Had to.
Because Helen was Alistair's pawn, really.
Yeah.
Alistair is, I think, starting to get a little bit desperate at this point, and as we were walking down to the creek he actually said to John, Johnny and myself, I think it would only be fair now if you voted off your next weakest member just because we've lost Helen. I think that would be the fairest thing that you could do, and you should trust in me to do that. Which we all felt was slightly rich, because essentially yesterday had been an agreement, and it wasn't a sense that our tribe owe him anything, just that we have now 4 members. It was purely because Bridget knew the answer to one of the questions. So he is very much trying to kind of split us up as a tribe so that we vote individually, and he can then gain some strength. But I think he's going to find that hard.
I didn't trust Alistair. I don't trust Alistair at all, but I just thought it was unfair to vote him off last night after he put in as much effort as he did for the challenge. But I don't trust him at all. and the next opportunity I'd want to vote them off.
Alistair came on very strongly, giving the hard sell. He does tend to do this, and I think it's his Achilles heel. When he's in a situation where he feels vulnerable or slightly nervous about something, he overcompensates and comes across very strongly. It struck me how single-minded he is and how egocentric his thinking is.
I feel that the log experience, for me personally, has built up tremendous relationships with the other tribe, and I feel that I'm at a slight advantage, and I think it will hold me in good stead for the future.
Bridget and Johnny go to collect tree mail, which today comes with a visual clue, a large, dead spider.
Incredible, isn't it? Anyway, itsy bitsy spiders crawling in a cave. In go 7 people. They'll have to be quite brave.
Fancy that.
A cave full of these things.
Oh God.
I'll last about.
Hey, you're the man that eats lice, crabs and beetles. What are you on about?
I'll last about 2 seconds.
That looks nasty.
You see the nippers on it? You see the nippers on that?
That looks nasty.
I'm not going in somewhere if they're going to drop them on us or anything like that.
It'll be something like that.
Susanna said, I'd rather go and stand on that bloody log again.
Yeah. Just close your eyes and think of sex.
The challenge takes place on Isla Colon, and after a boat transfer, the survivors travel to the location by truck.
Welcome, Columbus tribe, to La Gruta, or the Bat Cave. When you go inside, you'll find out why there's a sensation that seems to make the ceiling move. Not so. It's home to thousands of bats. Should you conquer the smell and the noise, you'll be partway to winning today's reward, but only partway, because the Bat Cave is also home to many, many different species of spider. The idea is that you go into the cave together. You bring out spiders one by one and put them in these jars. The winner is the person whose jar has the most spiders. Are we ready for action? Let's brace ourselves then.
They have 15 minutes to catch as many spiders as they can.
Because I can't even touch them, they're too risky.
At the halfway point, Johnny, Drew and Susanna haven't caught a single spider, while it's virtually level pegging for the others. Bridget and John are looking very strong.
very quickly.
One of our medical team immediately tends to Bridget's wounded knee.
Arachnophobia is the fear of spiders, and Susanna and Johnny, who failed to emerge once from the Batcave, confirmed that they certainly do have it. John, however, was like a terrier. 9 spiders captured by John. Drew joined Susanna and Johnny in the arachnophobia state. Dave, 8 caught by Dave. Bridget, 5 caught, for she was cruelly stopped in her steps. And Alistair, 7. So, we have a winner, and it's John. Congratulations. Now you're going to hear what your reward is. It's an evening of luxury. You're going to be transported, John, to a part of Ila Popa that you don't even know exists. And there you're going to find a hot tub. There's also a luxury dinner of lobster and white wine. But it's all right, isn't it? Now, there's a little bonus to go with all of that. You get to choose one of Columba's tribe to come with you, because it's an evening for 2.
Well, I feel that I won this by default anyway, and I don't think anybody will blame me for bringing Bridget. So well done.
Well done.
Oh, okay. She could collapse here.
All right. Easy target.
Coming up, fun in the hot tub and friction back in camp.
I am absolutely gobsmacked.
Back from the reward challenge, Johnny's performance in the face of the spiders is the source of much amusement.
Horses for courses, that definitely wasn't my course.
Johnny was bloody wimp, I thought, you know what I mean? I don't want to joke.
I failed miserably, but I'd rather have wrestled an alligator. I'd rather have done 3 rounds with Mike Tyson. I know it's totally irrational, and I know I'm a big girl's blouse, and I know I'm totally stupid, but I just couldn't. Right, mate.
Thank you very much. You're a star.
No
My
problem.
hero. My hero.
I thought it was only fair to bring Bridge along because she was so disappointed. She was lying there, you know, trying to grab spiders still with her leg hanging open and blood gushing out of it.
Looking forward to your trip.
I feel very, very honoured, I have to say. That was one of the sweetest things that anybody's ever done. And I feel very touched, I really do.
We all would have done it for you, definitely.
I think that was really, really lovely.
It's good.
Lovely time.
Yeah, really good time. See you tomorrow morning, mate. Well done.
See you tomorrow.
Have a good time. Right? See you tomorrow.
John, you better carry her over the threshold like that when you get to the other side, alright?
Enjoy it! You lucky buggers!
Oh, wow. Oh, excellent.
Look at that. God, John.
That is
Oh, wow.
just-
Oh, this food. God.
Bridget, these are a bit close together. I hope you don't get any funny ideas. You don't get any frisky in the middle of the night.
While John and Bridget have plenty to eat tonight, the lack of rice has become a serious issue back at camp.
Did you know what I worried about this evening was the fact that Drew put in so much rice tonight. And I thought, was that because she thinks, sod it, I might as well put in rice now. I don't want to go hungry because I'm not going to be around when the rations run out. And I never wanted to get onto the kind of rice squabbles either. But I want to be there now when the rice is being put in the bowl. We should have had half that.
Sláinte.
You're good, Hal. Thank you, John.
I don't think necessarily come in that way.
Not that way. I'll walk round the edge.
You come in just there.
Okay, just put my tie over it. Oh, right, I've got it. Oh, wow.
That's fine. You can see it in the sun. Just that standard
The Mohican
boys thing in the back. Dear sir, I'm applying for next year's Survivor. Dear Mary, you would not believe where I'm writing this from, nor the circumstances which led to me being here. We'll explain all soon. See you soon. Love, John.
Hi there, my lovely girls. The weather has now started to shine, so I am nice and brown. Today I fell over and cut my knee. I have 5 stitches. Lots and lots of love, Mummy.
Interesting what Bridget said today, that after she cut herself quite badly, everyone showed concern and asked her how she was, apart from Alistair. He was the only one who didn't show any sympathy or even ask her how she was.
Yeah, I think this will do okay tonight.
This will be lovely.
At least I'm away from Alistair's size 13s for a night.
It's Immunity Challenge Day, and the day of reckoning for the second chicken.
See if they've laid down the eggs first. Come on, Claude.
This is the biggest one.
This is the biggest. Oh, well, that's the biggest, isn't it? I wonder if they know what's going to happen to them. Quite glad they can't fight.
That big in there?
Yeah, just get it by the legs. Well done, well done. One leg. Hold on. I've got it. Right. Oh, yeah, bugger. Head nearly came off.
It's dead though.
No, it's dead. I'll tell Drew I did it away from the other one, by the way. The other one's quite quiet.
Wouldn't you be if you're on death row?
Right, do you fancy a good pluck?
Hey.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Let's go plucking. It's been a while.
Bridget said do the wings first.
Do the wings first?
Because she said they cool down faster.
This morning I particularly made a point to stay with Susanna and Johnny, purely to, to get to know everybody as a tribe. I'm trying to find out if there is still a rift between the two tribes. That's why I've concentrated on Johnny and Susanna. Plus I like the company anyway because they're great people.
John and Bridget arrive back at camp after their night away.
When you go away from the tribe and you win a challenge, your paranoia takes over. It's incredible. I came back and I felt like a partial stranger this morning.
Tell us all about it. I can smell them from here, actually. I can smell you from here.
Yeah. No one was unfriendly. Everyone was, what happened last night and stuff. But you just feel really out of it. It's incredible. Even Johnny, who is my closest friend on this island, I just felt we hadn't shared something. It is absolutely incredible how alienated you feel when you come back. A lot of it's self-induced, but it's there nonetheless. And I'm glad that I'm back, and I wouldn't like another 24 hours away.
In contrast, Drew is ready to give up and has a plan to get herself voted off the tribe.
I'm hoping that the next person to get voted off will be me. I'm absolutely happy to go, and really if they choose not to vote me off, they're not be doing themselves any favours, because I'm not going to be in a rush to work as hard as I have been around the camp and whatever. I'm just going to take it easy until such times I get voted off, because in some ways there's no point. I'm just working for them to stay stronger.
Just think, Drew, in 40 hours you could be waking up in a comfy bed.
If Drew does quit, it could give Alistair the opportunity to prolong his stay on the island.
I would simply ask John what their intentions are, and I would just simply say, well look, this may help you or may not help you, but Drew has mentioned to me that she wants to be the first one off.
The way I see it is that, personally the way I see it is it's a chance to stay for another 6 days and compete. Who knows? 2 immunities, and that's me sorted. Yeah?
Yeah, you'd be lucky, but...
I would be astoundingly lucky, but it's always possible.
Welcome, Columbus Tribe, to Lost Island. Today's immunity challenge is an assault course with a twist. You will be attempting it with your rucksacks that may or may not be filled with the bags of sand that are beneath your feet. Each of those bags weighs a kilo, which incidentally is the equivalent of a bag of sugar. Now, I'm going to ask you survival-based questions. Each time you get an answer right, you are able to hand one of your own bags of sand to any of your fellow survivors. Clearly, the more questions you get wrong, the more likely you are to have a handicap and therefore be hampered with a heavy pack. All right, let's go with the first question. Which Panamanian snake is not poisonous? Is it the bushmaster, the fer de lance, or the vine snake? If you've got the vine snake, would you show me? 6 out of 7, I've got the vine snake. Drew, will you choose someone, please, to hand a bag of sand to?
John.
John. Alistair.
John.
Dave, will you choose someone?
Johnny.
John.
Alistair.
There's a surprise. Susanna?
Alistair.
And Bridget?
Alistair.
A big start for Alistair. Second question. Which metal is best for lighting fires? Magnesium, sodium, or aluminium? All right, those of you that have written magnesium, please hold up your boards. Drew, will you please give a bag of sand to one of your fellow survivors?
John.
Johnny?
Drew.
Alistair?
John.
Dave?
Johnny.
John? Susanna?
Alistair.
Third question. How many species of animal are unique to Panama? Is it 25, 125, or 325? Have you all written an answer down? Those of you that have got 125 can hold up your board. Drew, please give a bag of sand away.
Johnny.
Dave, please give a bag of sand away.
Sorry, mate.
To Johnny. And Bridget, please give one away.
Alistair.
To Alistair. Yeah. Well, you've all walked the course, so understand what's needed to complete it. Obviously, the winner of immunity is the person with the fastest time. Have we got it? Good luck.
Coming up, the struggle for immunity and survival.
If you don't vote for me tomorrow, the next vote that we get, my vote will be for you.
On Lost Island, the tribe have loaded their backpacks and the race for immunity is about to start.
Susanna carrying a handicap of 3 kilos of sand. Are you set? Go!
Go, Susanna, dig in!
Flip over, that's it. Good girl, good girl. Go on, that's it.
again.
Johnny, you're next, and you have a handicap of 8 kilos of sand. Are you set? Go.
Go on, Johnny, pump it up, go on. That's it. Go on over the net, attack the net, that's it. Go on,
Johnny.
Pump the legs, go on, pump.
Go on, Johnny. Go on, Johnny, go on.
Now it's the turn of John, winner of yesterday's reward challenge. You have a handicap of 7 kilos of sand. Are you ready? You set, John. Go! Drew then, one of the lucky ones, just 3 kilos of sand. Get set and go.
Go on, Drew.
Go, Drew.
Go on, Drew. Go on, Drew.
Excellent effort.
Dave, barely handicapped, just 2 kilos of sand in his rucksack. Ready, Big Dave? Go!
Go, Dave, come on. Oh, well done, well done. Go, Dave.
Go on, mate.
Take your time. Go, Dave.
This isn't going to be easy for you, Bridget, after yesterday's injury. You also have 3 kilos of sand as a handicap. Are you set? Go!
Go, Bridget. Nice and easy. That's good, Bridget.
Come on, Dave!
Go on, Dave.
Come on, run!
Pump the on, Dave. Come on, pump the on.
Alistair, you have 9 kilos of sand, a staggering handicap. Are you ready? Go!
Well done.
You did well.
Really,
Kath, you
really
did
good.
well.
Really good.
Come on, son, pump, pump!
Come on, Ellie, run!
Yes, go on!
Well, none of you need be disappointed with the effort you gave to that hugely demanding challenge. but there was a conclusive victory, and I have a suspicion that we weren't that surprised by it. John, 1 minute and 4 seconds. You have immunity and the amulet. A fantastic, fantastic effort.
On their way back from the challenge, Drew's growing disaffection with island life was revealed when she talked to John about her plans to get herself voted off. John decides to pass on the message.
Drew has requested that we don't vote Alistair, but we vote Drew. And if we refuse, she will not help around the camp if she stays. She will, if I get to the last two, not vote for me at the jury phase. And if she stays and Alistair goes tomorrow night, she will do her best to be destructive and destroy food.
Oh my God.
Serious?
She said that to you?
That's almost verbatim, but that's just, so I'm just telling you.
I don't agree with the threatening behaviour. I don't agree with that.
Just the threats in itself, even I'd consider it if she hadn't mentioned that, but
because
the threats
after all,
itself.
you know, it's...
The strength of it really surprises me. But I know it sounds awful, but I wondered last night, because Alistair very clearly said we need to scale down the rations, and Drew put in twice as much rice as we needed. And didn't apologise for it or say, oh, sorry, it was an accident. And I don't know whether it was that, but I just thought, hang on a minute.
Yeah. Bridget, what do you think?
I'm bloody gobsmacked. I don't know what to think. We have been totally against that type of behaviour.
We'll have a chat with her now then. We'll go back. Well, it's still fresh.
Alistair, however, thinks he has an ace up his sleeve which could split the dominant former South Island vote.
I mean, the only thing that I could do is I could turn round to Bridget and I could say to Bridget, Bridget, you've got a choice here. We were standing in the log. John and Johnny gave her a hell of a lot of abuse and basically don't particularly like her. And she's got a decision to make whether she wants to come on side with us.
I think, I mean, the way I see it at the moment, Bridget is actually oblivious of the fact that they were really, really angry with her.
Oh, I couldn't believe what John and Johnny said about her.
She's oblivious though, isn't she?
Yeah.
When Bridget just fucked off at 5 hours because she doesn't think she's going to go anyway, because she's not a threat. She said that in front of us.
She gave Bridget an elbow in the back of the neck. Just for her sheer fucking cheek.
Just stand on her head as you climb over her.
Oh, sorry Bridget. It's just one of us four who's going to get voted off.
And then backheel her into the mud.
It could reverse the whole game. The whole game. If she believed me. But there isn't actually any reason for her to believe me. No. Because the only people that were standing in that log were Susanna, John, Johnny and me. The thing is, I'm not telling a lie.
Well, no, I'd try it out. You might as well.
It's disgraceful. Which makes me think she's about as trustworthy as a fucking piece of wood.
The rest of the tribe returned to confront Drew over her plan to cause disruption around the camp.
I think something's going to happen.
I think Drew, I'm just really, I've really, over the past few days, I've really liked you, and
me too.
And
I didn't think that we
I am
would.
just absolutely gobsmacked, to be honest, because I never thought anybody with a reasonable heart would even think about doing that.
The simple scenario is that Drew just came up and says, look, who are you thinking of voting off tomorrow? And John said Alistair, and Drew said I would rather go, and it's just then a simple decision whether
yeah, but it
you
wasn't
want
like that, was it? It's
okay,
just the way that it was presented.
Let's forget about whatever way it was presented.
That was just irrational.
Yeah, forget all that bit.
I can think of to try and persuade you lot to
yes,
vote
but if
me
you'd
on.
said it perhaps differently.
Not just off the head, just irrational.
Well, I've said it.
As much as the time I've known you, I don't believe you'd do that. I just don't believe you'd do that.
Anything disruptive, I think, is just wrong.
Anything to jeopardise other people's health.
Forget that. Where Drew is coming from is Drew wants to go.
How do you feel now? If things are the same, they're not going to change if you don't go tomorrow.
I'm not going to help around the camp or, I'll bide my time till I go, and I still try really hard.
We've gone through thick and thin, really. All of us, irrelevant of the tribes, we've all gone through thick and thin, and I just think it's. If you did that, well, it would spoil, you as a person, I think. I can't believe you got like nastiness inside you. So really,
I'm not. I wouldn't.
No, but I don't think
I'm not saying I'm being malicious.
You're taking saying that you won't help in the camp.
Another way of trying to get you to vote for me, because I know about the Bridget thing and the standing on the log and you basically being really angry with Bridget. I obviously wasn't there, but I know about it. If you don't vote for me tomorrow, because of that, and because Ali told us about that afterwards, and that changed our vote from one of you lot to Bridget. That's the only reason we changed, and that is the only reason we changed.
The only reason is, to be fair, the only reason we changed the vote
was because
is
of
what
that.
the group of 3 from your tribe
told
commented in
us.
Bridget. Now, I'm not going to tell any lies to Bridget, but I will tell Bridget what happened to make her aware.
No, like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I've spoken about it on camera quite happily.
If you don't vote for me tomorrow, the next vote that we get, my vote will be for you, because we changed basically for you, if you like.
Is this just not a game? Is this just not a game?
It is a game. It is a game. It is a game.
Is some people taking it a bit too strongly to heart?
I think some people are. We've known from the start it's a game.
Don't you cry, because you'll set me up and I don't want to. Don't. I want to be angry for a while. I just think it's dreadful.
I think it's really interesting that Alistair had to speak for her.
But sabotaging the food, I'm not having that.
Sabotaging the food is completely selfish.
I'm not having that.
And short-sighted.
I'm quite happy to explain it. I'll explain it to Bridget today, that's not a problem.
Go and bring Bridget round here and say it now.
Bridget!
I think she's busy with the chicken.
Bridget!
I'm busy! I got my hand up the back of a chicken.
I think Johnny wants to just talk about voting, and so that everybody knows which way an individual is going to vote.
Okay.
No.
We're just discussing what happened on the log here, and it's unfair to talk about it when you're not here. When you went off the log with Helen after 5 hours, you said something like, I don't have to stay here because I don't need immunity or something like that. And we all heard it, that we were pissed off about it.
Right. But yes, what I did say that the boys need to stay there because they're fighting for their lives on the island.
I can understand why you said it, but I also understand we were just standing for 5 hours. We're all in bad moods anyway, and that's why.
I think it was the feeling that everyone else has carried on standing there, and it was perhaps the way that it came across. And it's always
probably
tone,
yes, that is absolutely true. But we are all fighting to stay on this island.
I've had no grudges against you regarding it whatsoever. I understand why you said it. It's not, I didn't mention it because I'm trying to keep it secret from you, just it wasn't important enough for me to mention, but Alistair was trying to make it sound like it was something important, but I've been giving my word it wasn't. It was, the reason I didn't mention it to you was because it wasn't important after I came off the log. And the more it comes across, what I think of Alistair is probably quite correct. He's just doing anything he can to stay on the island.
Hello.
There's your top.
God bless you.
I did exactly the same thing. I put my t-shirt in the water and then lost it.
Alistair, we've just been talking about the log thing with Bridget, just getting out in the open. I don't know if you want to...
No, please, no.
Oh, no, there's no animosity.
Let's just have a dinner.
But let's everybody just try and put as much pleasure into this as possible.
Yeah.
So
because at the end of the day, this is only a game. It is not real life.
Oh, yeah.
I'm angry at myself, because I didn't say something to Bridget when we got off the log, but
yes,
Johnny has a point because it just seemed so trivial after that 24-hour on the log.
And then, when we were doing it, I was suddenly thinking, my God, we're taking Alistair into our confidence here, effectively. Do you know what I mean? Treating Alistair like where he is a snake in the grass and shouldn't be trusted as far as you could throw him. The sooner Alistair goes, the better, really. Yeah. I'm not going to entirely trust Drew, though. I think we should just keep an eye on things.
I think everyone appreciates that it's inevitable that, bitchiness and gossip and stuff will come to the fore, because surviving the games isn't the name of this, it's surviving the people. Something I came to appreciate at an early stage, and I think everyone's realising now.
Coming up, will Alistair defy the odds at Tribal Council?
Until I finally see him walking away, I wouldn't count that he's going to go.
It's Tribal Council Day, and yesterday's events are still uppermost in the minds of the tribe.
The confrontation was quite difficult. I particularly was worried when Alistair said that he was going to tell Bridget everything that had been said on the log, which was just low of Alistair, to be honest. It was beneath my expectations of him as a person, and it seemed very much that he was trying to clutch at straws, kind of as a dying man. He would bring out everything he possibly could, which was a shame.
Oh, it's going to be a long day.
It's ironic, isn't it, that you're constipated for 3 days, and then as soon as you go, you've got constant diarrhoea. Yeah.
I was a wee bit annoyed that Drew brought that up because I hadn't decided whether I was going to use that or not. I think most people are sitting with the predetermined vision that I'm going to be going off tonight. While there's breath, there's life, and there's 8 hours to go. Something may come up today. If it does, we'll see what happens.
Alistair has used a comment a couple of times, or a phrase a couple of times, where there's breath, there's hope. And I wouldn't be surprised if Alistair had another immunity idol already made that he'd found on the beach or something. He's a brilliant competitor, and he's not somebody to give up easily. So until I finally see him walking away, I wouldn't count that he's going to go.
In a way, it's a difficult decision about who to vote off tonight. Drew's piece of information yesterday about sabotaging the food and not helping around the camp was of real concern. On the other hand, it's fairly clear that Alistair is a major physical threat, and also he is a real stirrer, so keeping him on within the tribe would inevitably cause problems. I think we've got to think very clearly about whether this is a good time to vote Alistair off tonight.
Welcome, Columbus Tribe, to Tribal Council. The usual thing, please, torches in the stand, and then take your seats. Good evening, everybody, and good evening to Helen as well. You all seem rather pleased to see each other. Helen is the first member of our jury, and 5 of you, of course, will be joining her to sit here, and along with the viewers are going to make the 7 votes to decide who goes on to win £1 million. This evening we're going to find out who will join Helen on the jury first, but we'll come to that in a moment, because as ever we're just going to look back at the last few days. And John, you've got the amulet on this evening, and you're wearing it proudly. You've had a fantastic couple of days. How important was that win for you on the assault course?
It was very important, because I think if I had lost, it wouldn't be worth returning back to UK. I think a lot of my friends would have watched that and expected me to win quite comfortably. I was very lucky to win the reward before that as well, because I think that made all the difference with the protein.
Who did you consider your biggest threat before the assault course?
Oh, head and shoulders, Alistair, because he's very fit, he runs a lot, he's got experience with military assault course type things, so I thought Alistair would be my biggest threat.
Right. Well, we're going to vote to find out who joins Helen on the jury. It's the usual thing. The vote is at the end of the platform. Dave, you're first.
Alistair, you're a giant of a man with a personality to match. You've been a true gladiator since you've been here, and a very formidable opponent. Take this as a compliment.
sorry, Susanna. I find this very, very difficult.
Thank you. I'll get the votes. Susanna. Alistair. Susanna. Alistair. Alistair. Susanna. 3 votes for Susanna and 3 votes for Alistair. Alistair. Alistair, if you would grab your things and a torch. Well, you know that the flame represents your life in Columbus tribe, and that tribe has now spoken. Your life in the tribe is over, so please extinguish the flame. With reward comes fortification for immunity. With immunity comes life. And with life can come £1 million. It is not over until it's over. Please take your torches, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Over on ITV2 now, more from the islands in Survivor Raw. After the news on ITV1, a disappointed Alistair has the last word.
Maybe now it's a wee bit too early for me to leave the game. I don't like losing at anything. I hate losing.
Next time on Survivor, things aren't going to plan, and the tribe search for their next target.
I think I should watch out for Susanna that you're saying earlier.
I think there's a sting in the tail with Susanna. I think there's something that we don't know about.